Make sure you guys check out the private Discord server. It's a Patreon link below in the description. I mean, today or recently, we just made like a Goldman Sachs play. $78, we turned it to $236. And we have a bunch of other trades here, like Roblox made 19%, Tesla making 10%. Check it out. There's even a free trial. If you don't like it, just cancel it. Nothing to lose. Okay, we got to talk about the new San Francisco condo building that has sat empty for years. And it's going to be rentals, which is a pretty wild thing to say because when you build a condo building, usually the finishes, the amenities, and the structure of the building is way more high-end than your typical regular apartment complex for rentals. If you just look at the condo finishes and rental finishes, you see a pretty big difference. So developers spend a lot of money making 1554 Market Street, which is a very nice condo building. It's situated right next to some of the biggest corporations in the world. It's just a stone's throw away from the IKEA store. It's a stone's throw away from the X headquarters, from Uber, from Lyft. But at the same time, this place is pretty rotten right now with a lot of people doing fentanyl. And you can kind of say that this portion of Market Street is becoming the new open-air drug market. And no wonder nobody wants to buy in. It's a pretty great location too, right? There's even a lot of garage space next door. There's also some pretty cool stuff. You got like a rooftop garden here and there. And overall, I gotta admit, this is one of the most beautiful condos in all of San Francisco, but nobody wants to buy it. In fact, the San Francisco condo building has sat vacant for 3 whopping years, and it's no longer available to potential homeowners. So if you're watching this video and you want to buy a condo in 1554 Market Street, you don't have the choice anymore because they've been trying to put over 100 condos for sale. And to this day, only a few of them got sold, with the majority of them not even selling, which is a really insane thing to see, right? And there have already been major price cuts for 1554. They spent so long on the market that the developers are losing millions of dollars from the loans, the interest rates, and also people who want their money. And at this point, they're going to lose even more money unless they turn it to rentals. Investor Stephen Hong is taking ownership for the loan of this condo building. And they've already submitted an application to the San Francisco Planning Commission to transform the 12-story building into rentals. And that's exactly what we're doing. The building has 10 studios, 78 one-bedrooms, 22 bedrooms, 1 3-bedroom units. 13 of the units were previously designed to be affordable. The property has 28 parking spaces and 136 bicycle parking spaces as well. So yeah, Huang purchased a project for $77 million in November, and they're going to be foreclosing the loan. But at the same time, they kind of want to do one last Hail Mary play by trying to turn it into rentals. I don't know about this. And it's kind of sad to see these multi-million-dollar developments that they spent so much time on, like with rooftop gardens, open-air trees, in a pretty decent location back in the old days. Now, not a single person wants it. This building essentially launched during the pandemic. At first, there were a few buyers, but then after a while, people started noticing San Francisco really deteriorated. It deteriorated really fast. Literally open-air drug markets. And even worse is even San Francisco's supervisor recently even said that the whole reason why San Francisco has all these problems is because of capitalism. I mean, if your leadership is like that, do you really want to invest millions of dollars in San Francisco property? Probably not. And check this out. It's not just these guys having trouble, right? Even just having rentals will be very difficult. I don't even know if trying to turn the Oak or 1554 Market Street into apartments is even a good idea, considering right next door there's already an apartment tower called Nema, which is already facing some pretty insane foreclosures. You check out Nema, it's really not that far away from the Oak, right? If you check out Nema, it's fairly close. It's kind of like right next door. It's a 6-minute walk. And if you're trying to turn the Oak into rentals and your neighbor is an apartment building for rent and it's going bankrupt because it can't find tenants, I don't really think spending a few more $1 million on trying to make yourself a rental property is a good idea at all. In fact, it's probably a really bad idea considering you're pretty close to the Civic Center, which is like the biggest open air drug market in all of San Francisco. So yeah, I don't really think this is a good idea at all. And if you guys thought bad locations are the only condo buildings not being able to sell, I got a surprise for you. This building right here is another one, the one in Mission Bay, 603 Tennessee Street. This is in a pretty good neighborhood too, by the way. This is by no means in a crappy neighborhood. If you look at this building here, it's pretty nice, okay? I consider this one of the higher end locations. You're pretty close to the water. You're pretty close to downtown. You're pretty close to the Mission District. Overall, I give this a pretty good thumbs up, right? Look at this building. It's pretty high end. It looks gorgeous. It's a boutique condo building. It's a low rise. And these buildings typically get a lot of people buying. But guess what? They haven't sold a single unit. And the whole entire building is being foreclosed. They recently finally sold it for $14 million. But it's literally just 14 measly million bucks. The initial price for the whole building for sale was about $27 to $28 million. And you're telling me they sold a residential building for 50% off? It's just mind-boggling. This is a 24,000 square foot property, recently built, and now selling for pennies on the dollar. We got another building here, and I show you this building all the time because it's one of the scariest examples of what's happening in San Francisco. Another San Francisco office trades for a 50% discount, and this is 201 Spear Street, by no means in the bad part of town. Very good location. In fact, I could say the best office location you could get. It's right next to Stewart Lane, which has unblocked waterfront views, selling one bedrooms for $2 to $3 million, and the building right next door to it, a stone's throw away, is selling for 50% off. Doesn't exactly give the buyers of this condo building any confidence in their value anymore, because they're like, hold on a second, you're telling me the building right next to us just sold for 50% off? Isn't that like a bad thing? Absolutely. That's a pretty terrible thing to see. And 50% discount is an enormous fee, right? I mean, that is something you don't see that often, especially for like a AAA rating office tower like this. They should be able to sell for maybe just a 10% discount or maybe no discount at all. But they sold it for 50% off, which is better than some Black Friday deals. And like I said, offices, workers, tech, they're all moving out of San Francisco. And even CEOs who spend millions of dollars on offices and trying to get employees back, employees just don't want to come back anymore. Employees are kind of sick of San Francisco. The city has really deteriorated. And now even very iconic condos like these, which a few years ago, I saw this building. I was browsing on Zillow and I constantly saw 1554 Market Street. It had a lot of interest, but now apparently nobody wanted to buy it. People go to this location, they see how scary it is, and they don't buy. Not to mention, all the foreign investment is slowly leaving the Bay Area. Now, before you guys leave, definitely check out the private Discord server, guys. Like Goldman Sachs, dude, $78 to $236. Roblox are making some pretty good money. You know, Tesla calls, we closed it as a small scalp for 28%, 25% right there for the Roblox. If you sold Tesla for a little later, get 37%. So trade with us, guys. Make some money with us. It's the Patreon link below. There's nothing to lose. We have like a full 7-day free trial, and it's only like $20, which is like 2-3 Big Mac prices. It's a very cheap server, and you get a lot of amazing things. We have several traders on here. We got free chats, discussions, market info, stock data. It's almost like your own little mini Bloomberg terminal. So trade with us and make some money with us.